and it starts with cipoline, or small onions. And if you can't get Italian cipollina, you can use small boiling onions, and I have some right there. But before I start on the onions, let me tell you about the marinade that these onions are going into. So in a pot, I've got 2 cups of a red wine vinegar, a good red wine vinegar. And there's no rhyme or reason as to the amounts of other ingredients you put in here, but I like to use bay leaf. So here we have 3 bay leaves. I'm going to put those in. Some peppercorns, a few of those, and some clove. I like to use fresh whole clove. Gives this a really nice flavor. So a teaspoon or a tablespoon of cloves. I also like to add cinnamon stick, and I usually just put the cinnamon stick in whole. So let's put 1 whole cinnamon stick in, and then give this a little bit of salt. Here we have some coarse salt, so I'm going to add a little bit of that, and some thyme. Here is some fresh thyme, fresh out of the garden. I'm going to put a couple sprigs of that in as well. Now just give this a little bit of a stir and bring this to the boil. You only want to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes. Bring it to the boil. And after you do, then you can add your onions. And let me show you a little trick with onions. Here in this pot, I have some boiling water, and I put the onions in whole with the skin. This makes it very easy to get the skin off of these small onions, because if you put them in boiling water just for a minute or so, you see how easy that peels, and you can just pull or take the skin off with a small knife, just like that. And then what you want to do is put a little X right in the base of the onion, a little X. You do that to all of the onions. You want to use about, 2 cups worth of onions, because then you're going to put it into the vinegar. So we're going to allow that to cook for a few minutes before we add the onions to this. Now look at these onions. Don't they look beautiful?
They smell wonderful.
And all I do is, after they have been in this liquid, I just fish them out.
Put them in a jar.
Put them in a jar. This is so great with fish, chicken, anything really. And get them all in the jar, and then I put some of this wine vinegar. You know, every time I make this, the wine vinegar makes me cry.
It does?
Well, the fumes of all of this. I add some of the bay leaf. I add the thyme, all of this.
Wonderful,
doesn't it smell good? I made some ahead of time too, so that we could have
You always use a red vinegar?
I always use red vinegar. I like red wine vinegar for this. Stick in the bay leaf, stick in the cinnamon and cloves, and then I pour in
the liquid.
The liquid.
So you actually pack them hot?
Yeah, just like that.
You know, that's one of the oldest method of packing in the world, you know.
Because, you know, vinegar is one of the oldest preservatives. True. I knew that. And then I just cap it, and I set this aside for a few weeks.
Right.
And then it looks like this. See, here's one that I did a few weeks ago. And when I open it up,
excellent.
Isn't that beautiful?